श्री श्री गौर प्रभुपाद की समाहित भक्तवृंद की पतित पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्रीमद्भागवतम की ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपमह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्री दूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सह गणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिते नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Recite this sloka. This is from the 8th canto, 23rd chapter, 15th verse. मंत्रतस्तंत्रतश्छिद्रम् देशकालार्हवस्तुतः सर्वं करोति निश्छिद्रम् अनुसंकीर्तनं तव। मंत्रतस्तंत्रतश्छिद्रम् Deshakala vastutaha sarvam karoti nischidram anusankirtanam tava mantratastantrataschidram deshakala vastutaha sarvam karoti nischidram anusankirtanam tava. Mantratastantrataschidram deshakalargavastutaha sarvam karoti nischidram anusankirtanam. All Prabhujis together can chant. Tataschantrataschidram deshakalargavastutaha sarvam karoti nischidram anusankirtanam tava. All Matajis together. Thank you. Mantrataha. In pronouncing the Vedic mantras improperly. Tantrataha. In insufficient knowledge for following regulative principles. Chidram, discrepancy. Desha, in the matter of country. Kala, and time. Arha, and recipient. Vastutaha, and paraphernalia. Sarvam, all this. Karoti, makes. Nischidram, without discrepancy. Anusankirtanam, constantly chanting the holy name. Tava, of your Lordship. So this verse is spoken by Sukracarya to Lord Vamanadeva. So what is the context here? After the whole episode of Vamanadeva, becoming a small dwarf Brahman and asking for 3 steps of land, from whom? Bali Maharaj. And Bali Maharaj awarded him 3 steps. And then Vamanadeva went on to become Trivikrama. Huge size from the earth to the sky. And he measured all the upper worlds in 1 lotus feet and lower worlds in 2nd step. Then he said, where is the place to put the 3rd step? At that time, Sukracarya was yelling at Bali Maharaj. He was angry with him. I told you not to give to this dwarf Brahman. I told you this is Sakshat Vishnu. You didn't listen to me. Now he has taken away all the 3 worlds from you. So the ministers were angry. Sukracarya was cursing. The people were weeping. And so at that time the situation was very tense for everybody because the king had lost his post. And everything was taken away by Vamanadeva, who came as a dwarf Brahman. Now he became Trivikrama and took all the 3 worlds. And Vamanadeva told him, my dear king, you promised me how many steps? 3 steps. Now you have only given 2 steps. That means you are a debtor. You have failed in fulfilling your promise. Therefore you are under arrest, the Lord said. Immediately the Varuna Pash was brought and his body was tied with Varuna Pash. And the king was putting his head down. So the Lord said, now you have to give the 3rd step for me. Where can I keep my 3rd foot? At that time when Brahma was watching all this, even Brahma cried tears. He told Lord Vamana, my dear Lord, why are you testing this Bali Maharaj so badly? He has given everything he has. He has given you all the 3 worlds as an offering. You have accepted the 1st foot and 2nd foot, everything. Why do you conduct such a serious test and offering him such severe punishment? Lord Vamandev told Brahma, shh, wait for a minute. This is the last climax point of the pastime. Now I am testing him to the limits and let us see what he does. At this point of time. Uh, Brahma said, you are satisfied even with Tulasi and Ganga Jal if somebody offers you. He is giving all the three worlds to you. Still you are asking for more. The Lord said, this is a test I am doing for my devotee, let us see. And then Bali Maharaj was very intelligent. He thought what I should do now. Everything is lost now. He's still asking for one more step. Otherwise I'll be under arrest. At the time he said, let me remember my grandfather. Who is his grandfather? Prahlad Maharaj. So his father is Virochan. Virochan's father is Prahlad. So he said, my grandfather, he surrendered all his life to the Supreme Lord. Right from the time when he was in the womb. He was a pure devotee. In this world, everything belongs to Supreme Lord. Nothing belongs to us. He has given everything to us, and if he is asking, we should be willing to give everything back to him. What is the hesitation? Why should I have any hesitation? In fact, we should be jolly to give him back anything. Imagine from your prasadam plate, if your Guru Maharaj is asking, can you give me a gulab jamun? I want to taste it. How many of you will give it? You're sure? You will give one to Guru Maharaj and ask for 4 more from the kitchen. So, we should not hesitate to give. If he's asking for one gulab jamun, you should give the whole plate to him. So, if you love your spiritual master, you will give everything to him. In the same manner, Bali Maharaj very happily and joyfully gave away all the 3 worlds to Vaman Dev, without hesitation, without reluctance, without even grudging. Oh, I did a mistake, I should not have given. He never thought like that. Very happily he gave. So Lord also was touched by his sacrifice. And then Bali told, my dear Lord, in this world, mother, father, brother, sister sometimes may punish a small boy, to rectify his mistakes and bring him to sanity. Sometimes they may pinch him or slap him, but that is done out of love and affection, out of kindness to improve the boy. They are not truly angry with him. But a police, when they take out a belt and whip the thief, there is no affection there. That is different. So Maya punishing non-devotees and Lord punishing devotee, it is like earth and sky difference. Very big difference. Pumsam shlagyatamam manye dandamarhat yam na mata tata bhrata suhridaschaiva dishantihi. He said, you are my suhrid, heart-to-heart friend. There is nobody who will accompany me after death. You are the one who always accompanies every jiva. So I have no hesitation to give you everything. I give my head to you. I am bowing down at your feet. What to speak of all this property which I am giving you? I am myself yours. You take me, accept me, engage me in your service. When Bali engaged like this, Lord Vamandev was touched in his heart. He said, my Lord, this soul has surrendered to me completely. Immediately Lord told Bali, Bali, you have conquered me by your surrender. I tried to conquer you, but you conquered me with your love. Therefore, I bless you that right now I will offer you another kingdom to rule, which is Bilaswarga. And it's it's more opulent than heavens also. And I'll become a Dwarpalaka there. I'll stand at the door. And also, in the next lifetime, you'll become Indra. Whatever property I'm taking back from you now to give to Indra, that property will be coming back to you again. So nothing is lost for you in the true sense. In this way, Lord felt joyful. So after all this episode was over, Bali Maharaj was sent to Sutala Loka. He went and he became the ruler there. Now everybody dispersed, all the people. The kingdom of Indra was handed over back to Indra. At that time, there were only 2 people standing. One was Vamandev and Sukracarya. And they had a conversation. So in their conversation, Vamandev asked Sukracarya, my dear sir, what went wrong with your disciple? He lost all the 3 worlds. Some mistake must have happened by him. So what do you think about it? Like that jokingly. Vamadeva was asking, you will see that it's coming in the previous verse. He's asking, see, oh, best of Brahmanas, Sukracharya, please describe the fault or discrepancy in your disciple Bali Maharaj who engaged in performing sacrifices. This fault will be nullified when judged in the presence of qualified Brahmanas. And you are a highly qualified, learned Brahman, Sukracharya. So what do you think about it? What went wrong in his sacrifices? Like that he asked them. Then Shukra is saying, Sri Shukra Uvacha Kutastat Karma Vaishamyam Yasya Karmeshwaro Bhavan Yajnesho Yajna Purushaha Sarva Bhavena Pujitaha. Sukracharya said, my lord, you are the enjoyer and lawgiver in all performances of sacrifice, and you are the Yajna Purusha, the person to whom all sacrifices are offered. You are Yajna Purush. If one has fully satisfied you, where is the chance of discrepancies or faults in his performances of sacrifice? You see, let us give two examples. Daksha Prajapati did one sacrifice. He invited all the devatas. Lord Shiva also had come. But while entering the assembly, everybody got up and respected Daksha. Daksha was effulgent. He was a great Brahmin. He was the progenitor of mankind, Prajapati. Everybody respected him. But Brahma and Shiva did not get up. Brahma was father. Father did not get up for the son. And Shiva was absorbed in meditation on Lord Vasudeva. He was in trance. But this fellow did not know. Who? Daksha did not know. So he loudly criticized in a public assembly, saying that, look at this Shiva, he's just sitting and not getting up. And then he said, I gave my daughter in marriage to him. My daughter is like a deer, eyed. But he is like owl-eyed, like that he criticized Shiva. Offensive statements. So you will see that although Daksha Prajapati performed the yajna, the result was further many steps happened, blasphemies back and forth. Result is he got a goat head. What head? Yeah. That is why you will see the Rudram and Chamakam we chant in the Yajurved. The Chamakam is actually may, it will come. So he got a goat head. Actually his head was cut by one Veerabhadra and then goat head was put for him later on. So result of yajna is supposed to be auspicious, but he got a goat head because of offending a Vaishnava. Correct, no? Now let us take another example. Our Gauranga Darshan Prabhu always gives a seminar everywhere. How is 99 greater than 100? So many students came for that. They wanted to know, Prabhuji, how can 99 be greater than 100? So what is the lecture he gives? Ritu Maharaj was doing yajna after yajna after yajna and his score reached 99. So one fellow became very tense and insecure. Who is that? Indra. Why? Because Indra had 100 score and he had 99 score. So what was Indra's fear? If he scores 100 and if he has some better qualities than me, my seat will be gone. And then Lord will post him as the next Indra. So he felt very insecure. So when the 100th sacrifice was about to happen, he came and took away the horse. Who? Indra. Of course, Maharaj tells the pastime very beautifully. In Pune when he came, he was narrating that. He was telling how Indra came and sat in the VIP section of the yajna. And he was watching everything. And then he went to the bathroom and changed his dress to look like some Swami. And then he took away the horse. And then suddenly, actually, Ashwamedha horse you can catch, not a problem. But after catching, you have to fight also. Was he ready to fight? No, he was stealing and running away in a cowardly way. And that was to be brought back. Again and again, 4 or 5 times, horse was brought back, he was taking again and again. At that time, Prithu became angry. This fellow is thwarting my sacrifice. He took permission from the Brahmins and took the bow and arrow. He said, I'll finish him now myself. Brahman said, wait a minute, sit down. You are the Yajaman for the yajna. If you kill him, your hands will be tainted with blood and that will ruin the sacrifice. There will be no use even if you offer a Purnahuti. Because your hands are tainted with blood, the sacrifice is considered incomplete. It's no good, use it. But they said, we have one particular mantra which if we chant, wherever Indra may be in the universe, he'll be sucked into the sacrificial fire in one moment. So you just give us a go-ahead, we will start. And Prithu Maharaj was about to give a go-ahead, Brahmanas were ready. Swaha, they would put. And wherever he is Swaha. He will go inside the fire. When they were about to do that, Brahma immediately came. Brahma said, Prithu, stop this. And then he said, you are the earthly king and Indra is a heavenly king. Between earth and heaven, there should be good relationship. Because Lord says in third chapter, Devan bhavayatanena, te deva bhavayantuvaha, parasparam bhavayanta shreya paramavapsita. Lord is saying that we will perform yajna here and devatas will shower rain. We perform yajna, devatas give us sunlight, moonlight, wind, rains, grains, fruits, everything they are giving. If humans and devatas have a quarrel, that will make asura stronger. So both devatas and humans are on the side of Vishnu party. In Vishnu party means they do yajna, they worship the cow, everything. So earthly king should not fight with the heavenly king. It's not proper. You should stop this because Indra is feeling insecure. You are getting 99 marks, he is getting 100. Keep it in 99 only. Don't do the 100th one. Because he feels insecure and there is a fight. And Prithu was ready to stop the 100th sacrifice. He sacrificed the sacrifice. And guess what happened, the result? If you don't perform sacrifice, will Vishnu come? Vishnu won't come. But here in this case, Vishnu came. Amazing, no? So he sacrificed the sacrifice. And Vishnu came and said, Prithu, I am most pleased with you. I am not pleased with Indra, but I am pleased with you. Why? Because you are a samajhdar bacha. You are an understandable boy. See, in a home also, sometimes some father gives a tricycle to an elder boy. He gives a teddy bear to a younger one. And both children are playing with their own toy. But the younger one goes to the elder one and says, Bhaiya, you give me a tricycle, I'll give my teddy bear to you. And he agrees. So he sits in tricycle and takes teddy bear also like that. And he says, you get last. Sometimes they can do or not. And the smaller one is telling bigger one, you get last. Of course, bigger one is more stronger, isn't it? So he says, hey, you promised me to give teddy bear. So he pulls it. What do you think younger one will do? He will start. Immediately, mother in the kitchen is disturbed. Her work is disturbed. Whom do you think she will scold? Elder one or younger one? Let us take a vote. How many of you say elder one? Okay, how many of you say younger one? There is only one. Only you are the only one. You had grandchildren or no? Huh? No, younger one is wrong, but the scolding is given to elder one. Why? Because elder one is understandable. Younger one is naughty. Same way Prithu Maharaj was told, you stop the 100th yajna. You are an elder one, mature one. You are a pure devotee, Indra is a mixed devotee. Better you understand. He understood. So Lord Vishnu told him, I have come here not because you performed the 100th sacrifice. You are willing to forego the sacrifice. Your goal is to please me, not to satisfy your fastidious false ego. Therefore I have appeared here. So 2 examples I told you. Daksha Prajapati did yajna, the result, even though he completed the yajna, he got a goat head. On the other hand, here, Prithu Maharaj sacrificed the 100th yajna. He put aside his false ego. He didn't compete with Indra. He said, for the Lord's sake, I will cooperate with Indra. This world is not a place of competition. It's a place, it can be a cooperative arena. Instead of making it a competitive arena. He agreed to cooperate. So all of you, in our lives, we can think. In certain situations, we have some little competition with another devotee. For the sake of Prabhupada and spiritual master, we can put aside the competition and work cooperatively. Correct, na? So, and then the Lord was pleased. Lord appeared there. Now here, Bali Maharaja, although he lost, that's what he is saying here, Sukracarya. You are the enjoyer and lawgiver in all performances of sacrifice, and you are the Yajna Purush. If one has fully satisfied you, there is a chance of discrepancies or faults in his performances of sacrifice. Yasmin Tushtam, Jagat Tushtam. Love God, love all. So if God is pleased, everyone can be pleased. There is no fault, he says. And then next verse which we read today. All of you repeat this. Mantratas tantrata shidram Desha kalarha vastutah sarvam karoti nishchidram anusankirtanam tava. Here he is saying, there may be discrepancies in pronouncing the mantras. Like Vedic mantra, you have to be very careful how you chant. One incantation, if there is a mistake. When we were learning the Vedic mantras, the Guruji who was teaching us would always check one small mistake, he will catch us. Sahasrani sahasrasho ye rudramati bhumyam. So it does go up. If you don't say that, you will catch. You have made a mistake. So, because one mistake in the meter can mean differently. Like for example, one fellow was chanting Vedic mantra, he said, Indra Shatroho, like that he said. So because he prolonged a little bit, the result became opposite. He wanted to get a child to kill Indra, but he got a son who will be killed by Indra. Just the opposite. Like we sing also in the song, Brajajan Palana Asurakula Nashana. So when you sing like this, Brajajana Palana Surakula Nashana, Surakula Nashana becomes opposite meaning. That means Lord who kills the demigods. It's not like that. Asurakula Nashana. So one small mistake in Sandhi Vichhed, when you do, mistakes can happen. One should be careful while reciting mantras, the Vedic mantras, while speaking Sanskrit. That's what he says. If you want to do Vedic sacrifices, the direction is very important. Are you facing north or east? It's very important. Or exact number of brahmanas available. Advaryu, there are names are given for different brahmanas. They have to be sitting in the strategic locations also. And there are some 25-30 ingredients are required. One item is missing, the yajna cannot start. In our home, when they used to do, I have seen, the pujaris would, all of them would arrive. If you say that one item is not, one dhruva grass is not there, he will say, unless you get it, we cannot start. So all compulsory, all ingredients required, direction is important, kala, time is important. There is Rahu Kal, and there is a Shubha Kal. So it's very important. And Tithi is also important. Is it Shukla Tithi, Shukla Paksha, Krishna Paksha, Uttarayana, Dakshina, and these things become very important. When are you doing what you are doing, which date, which is Tithi? It should be even marriages in December, there are a lot of marriages. Why? Because a lot of Shubha Tithis are there. Isn't it? Therefore, marathon time you all can keep in mind. Many marriages are going to happen. You can reach out hundreds of Prabhupada books. So, when people are in a happy mood in marriage, you can tell them distribute one Gita to everybody. So, for them, the marriage is Mangal Karyalaya. For our Mangal is to reach Prabhupada books to them. Isn't it? So, in this way, you have to look at all these things. And most important is the pronunciation in Vedic mantras. So he's saying there may be discrepancies in pronouncing the Vedic mantras and observing the regulative principles also. Like for example, you cannot drink anything, you cannot eat anything before completing certain amount of, mantras to be chanted and everything. So some people fast till noon, upavas and all they keep. The rules are that if you break the rule, you are gone. Then you won't get the fruits, like that. And moreover, there may be discrepancies in regard to kala, time. Place should be auspicious place. The person and the paraphernalia. All these things. But when your Lordship's holy name is chanted, everything becomes faultless. Everything becomes auspicious and faultless. Let us see what is in the purport. The purport by Divine Gracious Prabhupada ki. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is recommended. All of it together recite. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Iva Kevalam, Kalau Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatiranyata. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is chanting of the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. Brihanaradi Puran. In this age of Kali, it is extremely difficult to perform Vedic ritualistic ceremonies or sacrifices perfectly. Hardly anyone can chant the Vedic mantras with perfect pronunciation or accumulate the paraphernalia for Vedic performances. Therefore, the sacrifice recommended in this age is Sankirtan Yajna, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Yajna is Sankirtana Prayayir, Yajantihi Sumedashaha. Instead of wasting time performing Vedic sacrifices, those who are intelligent, those who possess good brain substance, should take to the chanting of the Lord's holy name. Yajantihi Sumedashaha. That means you are very intelligent. If you take to the chanting of Hare Krishna. And thus perform sacrifice perfectly. I have seen that many religious leaders are addicted to performing yajnas and spending hundreds of thousands of rupees for imperfect sacrificial performances. This is a lesson for those who unnecessarily execute such imperfect sacrifices. We should take the advice of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yajna Sangeetana Praya Yajna Sumesha. Although Sukracarya was a strict Brahmana, addicted to ritualistic activities, he also admitted Nishchidram Anusankirtanam Tava. My Lord, constant chanting of the holy name of your Lordship makes everything perfect. In Kali Yuga, the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies cannot be performed as perfectly as before. Therefore, Jiva Goswami has recommended that although one should take care to follow all the principles in every kind of spiritual activity, especially in worship of the deity, there is still a chance of discrepancies, and one should compensate for this by chanting the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we therefore give special stress to the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra in all activities. Therefore, after finishing the deity worship, we say mantra hinam, kriya hinam, bhakti hinam, Janardana. So, oh Lord Janardhan, while worshipping you, I might have committed some mistake. My mind might have gone somewhere else while worshipping you, or there might have been some deficiency. So one prays. Now, let us see how this Anusankirtanam Tava, why is it considered so special? Yesterday, Maharaji was telling His Holiness Bhakti Vaishnava Ashray Maharaj, the chanting Hare Krishna is far superior than chanting even the Vedic mantras. Correct, no? And then he was telling that the Vedic mantras are all there for those who are in that position. But one who has come to the chanting of Hare Krishna, he is like a doctorate student, he was telling. So I'll tell you, I wanted to elaborate more on that point today here. How is that considered like that? Because generally speaking, in any temple, ISKCON temples also, in Gita Jayanti day, if you arrange a yajna, 1,000 people come. If you tell them that we are going to, sing the same amount of time, we are going to do Sankirtan in the temple hall, will 1,000 people come? They won't come. Maybe 50, 100 people will come. They will say, okay, Kirtan anytime we can hear, they will say. But yajna, when Brahmanas are chanting, Hare He Om, they are chanting, that's very appealing. Oh, the Vedic incantation is very pleasing to the heart. So it appears to be very bombastic, the ostentatious display of paraphernalia and the yajna kund and all these things, plus the recitation of the mantra is very appealing to the minds of the conditioned souls. But one should contemplate on the meaning of what they are chanting. If you see the Vedic mantras, many of them, like there is one mantra called Mantra Pushpam. That is actually a blessing to a householder, that Prajavan, Bhavati, they will give blessing to you, like may you have children, may you have a good business, may you have a very good yield in your field this year, let there be good rain, let all your children and wife, everybody cooperatively stay with you. So blessing for a family. And there are also other mantras which are a prayer to relieve us from suffering. Like I used to chant this Rudram. In the 11th chapter of the Rudram, it says, Sahasrani sahasrasho ye Rudra adibhumyam. In that it says, Asmin mahatyaranave antarikshe bhava asi nilagriva shitikanta sarva adhakshamaacharaha ye anneshu vividyanti patreshu pibato janana. So in that Vedic mantra it says, wherever there is food that is kept which is not offered to the Lord, that food is tamaguni food. And by mistake, sometimes I eat food which is not offered. Oh Lord Shiva, do not bring your Trishul to attack me. Keep your Trishul 1,000 yojanas away. That's the meaning of that. And you know what is Trishul? Adhyatmika, Adhibhautika, Adhidaivika. So some of the mantras ask the devatas to keep us away from miseries, and some of them are asking the devatas for some material benedictions. Most of them are like that. Yamimam pushpitam vacham prabadanti avipaschitaha vedavadarata partha nanidasti tivadinaha kamatmana swargapara janma karma falapradam kriya vishesha bahulam bhogaishwarya gatim prati. See Krishna saying in these two verses, These are Pushpitam Vacha, it says, very sweet words of the Vedas. Huh? This is like the sweet poisonous fruits of trees. Example is given by the Acharyas. Why are these sweet fruits considered poisonous? Because Bhoga and Aishwarya in this world will make you remain stuck in this material world. You cannot go back to Godhead. They will award you earthly pleasures or heavenly pleasures. Even if you go to heaven also, Tedam bhuktva svargalokam vishalam shine punye matkalokam vishanti. Evam trayi dharma manu prapanna gata agatam kama kama labanti gata agatam. You go to heaven, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Shine punye matkalokam vishanti, you come back again. If you go to hell, -3, -2, -1, 0, come back. So both bring you back to earth. They don't remain with you forever. But Bhakti Sukriti will always remain with you forever. Therefore, he is glorifying Anusankirtanam Tava. If some jiva somehow has developed faith in the holy name, is the most intelligent jiva, because he is catching hold of the permanent. He is not catching hold of temporary. One time we were in Harkipodi, in Haridwar. So there is a Ganga flowing, very fast Ganga, rapid Ganga. So there is a chain put up there, iron chain. So taking bath there is very risky, but it is not so risky if you hold on to the iron chain. You can take a bath, surely, but hold on to iron chain and come back. Some people catch one hand and then they do like this for body like this. And then they catch this hand. And then they do like this, they'll be taken away by Ganga and take both the hands off. So one has to be very very attentive when one is. So in the same manner, you will see when we are talking about various types of practices in the Vedas. One mistake we commit here, that Nriga Raja committed one mistake and got into trouble. Think Nriga was a pious fellow or impious fellow? Pious. One Brahmana came, he gave him 1,000 cows. Another Brahmana came, he gave another 1,000 cows. They both happily were about to leave. But one cow from the first lot went into second lot. And then the first Brahmana came and said, my cow which you gave me, it has gone into the other group, please give me back. So he took the cow and gave him back. But then the other lot person, Brahmana, said, hey, you gave me 1,001 cow now, and you're taking one back. Once you give, you should not take back. He said, no, sir, it is not yours, it is that Brahman's. Whatever it is, but once you have given me, you should not take it back. Then he told the other Brahman, see, you have 999 now. Don't worry, I'll give you one more 1,000, I'll give you if you want. You can take it. He said, no, I want only that cow only. He said, but he's not giving back. There's a little problem. He's attached to keeping that cow. Let him keep it. I'll give you another 1,000. He said, I want that only. So he is not giving, he is not accepting. He got into trouble. Both Brahmanas became very upset. They went with unhappy heart. Because of which this fellow next life became a lizard. Can you imagine? See, this fellow was such an intelligent king, this Nriga. It is said he gave crores of cows. Recently, I heard in one of the lectures when Swami was telling that how he gave crores of cows, because on certain tithis, if we give one cow, it's equal to 1,000 cows. That means if we gave 1,000 cows, it's equal to how much? 10 lakh, isn't it? If we gave 1,000 cows on that tithi, 1,000 into 1,000? 10 lakhs, isn't it? So it's equal to giving 10 lakh cows. Like that he was giving. Exactly. Some people are smart, correct? No, on this particular tithi, you get some special benefit. So he would do like that. So he was very meticulous in the Vedic Panchanga and all that. But here he got cheated. He became a lizard in the next life. But that is not the tragical ending. Don't worry. There's a good news also about Nriga. What happened? Although these two Brahmanas were dissatisfied, one Vaishnava came to him and said, we are building one ISKCON temple for Krishna. Can you please give some donation? And he gave a donation for making Krishna temple. Therefore, Nriga became a lizard where in Dwaraka. One day the Yadukumaras, when they were playing, they went to that well where they found this big lizard. They came back and told Krishna, we found a big lizard. So Krishna went there and he knew who he was. He put his lotus feet on that lizard. As soon as Krishna's lotus feet touched the lizard, immediately he again came back to beautiful effulgent form, King Nriga. And then everybody came to know the whole story. The point is, little bhakti he did, that saved him in the next life. And so much enormous charity he gave in his own account, that made him a lizard. Because if you are doing any other practice in Kali Yuga other than chanting of the holy name, you can become lizard or anything else also. We don't know. Because there may be flaws in your performance. Whereas in chanting, if there are flaws also, Lord doesn't take it. And why he doesn't take it, I'll tell you the reason. For example, a mother who is watching a child, the child initially lies like this on the ground. Then slowly after third month, he turns around. You've seen that? And then tries to swim on the floor. First, he just moves the hand only. After some time, he's actually able to swim. From here up to that much distance, he can swim. Then the child starts slowly crawling with his knees. And you've seen that. Then he tries to get up. And then he catching the wall, he gets up. And touching the wall, he walks a little bit. Then he tries to walk without the wall. He slips and falls. So that's what you call as a toddler. So mother generally gives a finger for the child, catch both the fingers. Then she will take off the hands and see whether the child is able to walk. But if the child slips and falls, is the mother going to ridicule the child? What do you say? How many of you can confidently say mother will not ridicule? Correct, no? Why? Because mother's desire is not to see the child fail. Mother's desire is to see the child succeed, in able to walk. Not only she will not ridicule, she will also offer further help to the child. Okay, try now. Once again, you catch my hands, you come. Bhumauskalitabhadanam bhumirevaavalambanam namajata paradhanam tameva sharanam prabho. Here's a beautiful prayer. My dear Lord, if a child is a toddler, he slips and falls on the ground, what else can he do? He has to take the support of the ground to again get up and try to walk. Similarly, I am committing so many offenses while chanting the holy name. Please forgive me. Again, I'll try to chant the holy name without offenses. I can only make a repeated effort. And I beg you to help me. I beg you to purify my heart. Ultimately, you are the purifier standing in my heart as a super soul. If the Lord sees sincerity in your heart in approaching the Lord with a sincere call, then he will cleanse your heart. Please cleanse my heart so that I can call your name fervently without any offenses. So the holy name has to be chanted in a prayerful mood, not in a conquiring mood. So we are not an achiever in chanting the holy name. We are actually dependent on the Lord for his help in calling out the holy name properly. The reason why he says, Sakalam karoti nishchidram anusankirtanam tava is, just like a child, the child may do some mistakes also. He may pick up a knife. He goes to touch the mother, says, hey, don't touch. She says. He picks up the knife, hey, don't touch the knife. So I'm going out and playing. Say, hey, don't go out. Mother has to control. Sometimes he's too naughty, the mother may clap the child. Child may cry. But then the mother pacifies the child again, picking up the child, embracing and patting, isn't it? Because the mother-child relation, that cannot be broken. Similarly, the Lord and the living entity relationship can never be broken. We can only, just like, imagine there's a Karodupati here in Telangana, Imagine his son fought with the father and left the home. He went to Kashmir, the other side of the country, and he's tearing his clothes and living in. Then he'll get good clothes to wear, proper food to eat, and very happy life. Similarly, we all have foolishly turned away from Lord Krishna. Janasya Krishna vimukasya daivada dharmashilasya sudukkitasya anugraha yeha charanti nunam bhutani pavyani janardanasya. See, the saintly persons in this world are roaming on the surface of the globe only for one express purpose, prime purpose. What is it? To remind the living entities that you have foolishly turned away from your most eternal well-wisher. You have turned away from Lord Krishna. Turn towards him. Because if you turn away from him, you will become Adharmashil. If you become Adharmashil, you will become Sudukitasya. If you want to become Susukitasya, what you have to do? You have to become Dharmashil. So what is the method of becoming Dharmashil? Who can say? Simple thing. See, Janasya Krishnad Vimukasya. When the Jiva turns his face away from Krishna, he becomes Adharmashilasya. And then because of that, he becomes Sudukitasya. It's very simple Sanskrit. So if he has to become Susukitasya, what he has to do? Anybody? Turn towards Krishna, that's all. Don't turn away from him, turn towards him. When you turn towards Krishna, you become Dharmaparayan. Then you become Sukhitasya. Dukkha is because you have turned away from the Lord. So when when a boy has become an orphan, is foolish. So the orphan has to be reconnected with the father. So in the same manner, so father doesn't reject the son, saying that you tore your clothes, you went away from me. Why are you coming now? Get lost. He won't say that. Yes, you committed mistake. Now I'm ready to accept you back. So our mistakes are tolerated. Our deficiencies are covered up. Like, I have always seen parents always overestimate the child's performance due to their affection. Like one mother came to a temple, she had brought her son and she was telling, my small boy, he's just 2 years old. He started writing home. She said, so we all saw the plate, that slate. They have the slate, no? Black slate. What kind of home he has written? I only saw Archimedes spiral. And round, 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 round he has put. But mother is able to see home in that. Due to affection. Similarly, Krishna also says, Chaturvida bhajante mam jana sukritino arjuna arto jignasur artarti jnani cha bharatarshava. He says, Tesham jnani nitya yukta eka bhaktir vishishyate priyo hi jnananotyartam maham sacha mama priyatat. Next verse he says, Udara sarvaye vaite jnani tatmatpaiva me matam. He says, Udara means what? These four people are Udar, magnanimous souls. So when I first read it, I laughed. These four fellows are mixed devotees. They are coming to Krishna for asking for some relief from the disease, or for wealth, or either jignasu or jnani. Why Krishna is calling them magnanimous? Later on, I asked one senior devotee. Senior devotee said, just like a mother sees, I told you, she sees a worm in that circle. Similarly, Krishna sees, at last, after wandering 8.4 million species, the Jiva has put his feet in my temple. He could have gone to so many other Devata temples. But he is coming here. So those people who are putting their foot in Krishna's temple are not ordinary souls. Immediately you can say they are Chaturvida Bhajante Ma. They are one out of the four. And amongst them also those who have started chanting 16 rounds regularly, accepting shelter of a spiritual master, and accepting Prabhupada's books and everything, faithfully following it. So these are very, very extraordinary people. Brahmananam sahasrebhyo satrayaji vishichyate satrayaji sahasrebhyo sarva vedanta paragaha sarva vedanta vidkotya vishnu bhakto vishishyate. See, this is all telling about gradation. Amongst the many, many Brahmins who chant the Vedic mantras, those who know the meaning of Vedic mantra are very rare. 1 out of 1,000. Those who know the meaning of the Vedic mantras, amongst them those who know the Vedanta are very rare. Amongst those who are expert in Vedanta, thousands of them, one Vishnu Bhakta is very rare. Because many Vedantists worship different devatas, some of them are Nirvisheshvadis also. But one who is Krishna devotee is extremely rare. And among thousands of Krishna devotees, one who is a pure devotee, who is not a mixed devotee, he is the rarest of the rare, he says. So in this way, if you have become a devotee and you are chanting the holy name, you are like a child who is escorted by the mother or father. You don't know how the Lord is pampering you. Every day morning when we get up, we should think, when I was traveling, in my travels, it was a winter season. So I went to 6 places. In all the 6 places, people had purchased a shawl for me. Because it was winter season. They thought, Prabhuji will come, he is going to give a program. At the end, we will give a very nice shawl so that, in winter season, you can cover. So when I returned to Boston Temple, I saw there were 6 shawls with me. So I was practically moved to tears. Why? How Krishna is taking care of us if we try to do a little bit service for him. He is giving through the hands of so many devotees. Take the shawl, take the shawl, take the shawl, take the shawl. I was exactly feeling like a mother buys a sweater for a child. Is it not true? You just have to be a child in the lap of the mother, and mother takes care of buying whatever is needed for you. So he says, Yoga Kshemam, Aham Yaham. So every moment we should cherish how Krishna is taking care of us, protecting us, maintaining us, providing for us, guiding us, putting us in good association of devotees, and revealing so many truths through the scriptures. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. You open the scripture and many of your questions become answered, enlightening us. So our position is the best position because we are not like yogis, depending on our own plugging the nose and standing upside down, doing yoga, different type of yogic procedure, and on our own we are trying to gain control over material energy, like they do. Jnanis, yogis, they are all on their own. They are not depending on the Lord. Jnani depends on the strength of his own intellectual prowess, study of the scriptures, by which he does vimarshanam. Vimarshanam means analysis of what neti process. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not this, I am not that. They have to depend on their analysis. They are called vipashchit, but vipashchit also can be bewildered. There is a verse in Gita, it says, Yatatohyapi kaunteya purushasya vipashchitaha indriyani pramathini haranti prasamam manaha. Krishna says, a vipashchit jnani also can be bewildered by Maya because he is depending on his own strength. What about yogis? They are meditating on super soul. They are, at least they are aware of the form of the Lord and they are meditating and all. What about them? Of course, if they have come to understand the form of the Lord and becoming bhaktas, they will be saved. Otherwise, if they are simply doing pranayam, asana, and doing hatha yoga, there is one verse which says, Yunjananam bhaktanam pranayamadivirmanah akshina vasanam rajan drishyate punaruttitam. Akshina means their vasanas are akshin, not destroyed. Drishyate, dekha jata hai, punaruttitam. Again it comes back. Old vasanas. Just like in Vishwamitra's came, again and again it came up. So, jnanis, yogis, they fall back in this world. But a bhakta is like a child protected by the Lord very personally. Read the 9th chapter, last section, Glories of Devotion Service. After the verse number 9.23-24, if you read, from that till the end of the chapter, 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. That's a homework for you. Glories of Devotion Service. Maybe last 8-10 verses of the 9th chapter. So when you read, you will be moved by Krishna's behavior towards his devotees. You cannot give any glib excuses for not chanting holy name. If you say, see my dear Lord Krishna, I am very poor, I don't know whether you will accept me or not. Lord Krishna says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Just offer me a leaf or a flower or fruit. You may be poor, no problem. He says, I don't say, I am Lakshmipati, you should be at least Karodapati. I don't say that. You don't need any qualification. Or somebody may say, I am a woman, I may not be very philosophical, or I am a Vaishya, I am money-minded, or I am a Shudra, I never studied scriptures, if you say. Krishna says, no problem. Mam hi partha vapashritya, episyu papayoneha, striyo Vaishya tata Shudras, te apiyanti param gatem. All those people can come to me if you simply chant the holy name, he says. Somebody may, like when I was selling the Bhagavad Gita, one fellow said, no, मैं बड़ा पापी हूँ. Today morning, abhi maans kha kar aaya. He said, just now I finished my meat and came. I cannot even touch Gita. I am such a sinner, he said. I said, I'll give you in a carry bag, take it. So you don't have to touch the Bhagavad Gita. Please carry it and keep it at home. So some people claim that very terrible sinners. Krishna says, what he says? Apichet suduracharo vajate ma mananya bhak. Even if somebody has committed sinful activities, but if he again becomes my devotee and he chants holy name, I will wash away all his sins. You should consider him a saintly person because he repents and feels remorseful. You give an excuse, Krishna has immediately solution. Somebody says, no, my Lord, I have too many difficulties in my life. Matchitta sarva durgani mat prasada tarishyasi. He says that by my mercy, you can show me what are your troubles. You don't be crying yourself alone. Come here, put it in front of me. I can dissolve them like a sun dissolving the glacier. Like that I can dissolve all your problems. You learned the art of praying to me with your problems rather than you foolishly sorting out problems yourself. For you, problems are gigantic. For me, problems are peanuts. I can very easily finish them. So Krishna is inviting us to come to him. In those verses, you will see the glories of the devotion service. So in this way, here you say, Sakalam karoti nishchitram. Why? Because we are small, Krishna is great, and we are recognizing it. We are not claiming Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Parabrahmasmi. We are not claiming. We know that, my dear Lord, there is one Karpanya Panchika Stotram by Rupa Goswami where he says, my dear Lord, I am very small, you are very great. I am a palmer and you are a Panditavar. You are so learned. Nevertheless, you are so kind that such a useless person like me, you accepted me as your devotee. So I am grateful to you for not neglecting me. Lord's heart is always to accept anybody and everybody who comes to him. Like Lord Rama accepted a squirrel, even though he was very tiny. So we should always feel I am like the squirrel. I'm trying to throw some little bit stones. There are many Hanuman-like devotees, like Maharaj, like Hanuman-like devotees, powerful. They are moving the whole world. And Anandamaya Prabhu, 30, 40 years is practicing and inspiring the whole world. So who am I? I'm like a small, tiny squirrel. If you feel like that, in front of the Lord says, Sakalam Karoti Nishchidram. I will compensate for all the holes. So you don't have to worry. So, like this verse I read now, this verse was spoken by whom? Yeah, Sukracarya. Now I will conclude with one more verse. You'll be amazed. By another personality, Durvasa Muni speaking glories of holy name. Purposefully, I am bringing special fellows for reciting story. Because if I tell you some Vaishnava is saying, you may say, Prabhuji, Vaishnava is always glory for the holy name. Therefore, I brought one verse from whom? Sukracarya. Now another verse from Durvasa Muni. Yeah. See Durvasa Muni is saying here, recite the verse. After you all know the pastime of Durvasa and Ambarish. After that, Durvasa was forgiven by the chakra and life was saved. Then he is telling this. Repeat this verse. Durvasa uvacha aho anantadasanam mahatvam drishtamadhyame kritagasopi yadrajan Mangalani samihase. Durvasa said, my dear king, today I have experienced the greatness of devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For although I have committed an offense, you have prayed for my good fortune. I tried to kill you, but you saved my life. Is it not a rare thing? In this world, if somebody comes to kill you, you will naturally want to kill them. But here is Ambarish Maharaj. He prayed to Sudarshan to save the life of Durvasa. And then he told this, one more verse he says here. Tushkara konu sadhunam dustyajo va mahatmanam yaihi sangrihito bhagavan satpatam rishabho harihi. For those who have achieved the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of the pure devotees, what is impossible to do and what is impossible for them to give up? So the king is king of the whole world, but he has given up, attachment to the royal post and position and queens and children and gold and silver and diamond and dress and whatnot. He has given up all the attachments, including his attachment, his false ego also is given up. And he has surrendered to Lord Vishnu completely. And what is impossible for them to do? Because they have surrendered at the feet of Vishnu. The devotee's power is as strong as Vishnu's power. Why? Because they have Vishnu in their pocket. Anytime they can release Vishnu and the enemy can be in trouble. And then he says this famous verse. Yannama shriti matrena puman bhavati nirmalaha tasya tirtha padakim va dasanam avashishyate. What is impossible for servants of the Lord? By the very hearing of his holy name, one is purified. Yan nama shruti matrena puman bhavati nirmalaha, he says. By nama shruti, your chitta becomes shuddha. Like that is telling. So I took two characters today. One is Durvasa Muni here and Sukracarya there. If these fellows are glorifying holy name, then you can understand what Vaishnavas are saying definitely must be true. Is it not true? You can see, he is a mystic yogi. He sleeps in the bank of the river, sometimes in a cave. He can fly in the sky. He can create big trouble also, anybody. Durvas means very difficult to live with. He can become angry anytime. Although he also comes in Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan also. Once Srimati Radharani cooks for him, all gopis run away. Only Radharani is cooking, and then he blesses Radharani also that whatever you cook will be like nectar. And anyone who eats what you cook will never get sick. So two benedictions he gives there. So he time to time encounters devotees, but he's also a mystic yogi. And such a mystic yogi is glorifying holy name to be, the supreme purifier. And Sukracarya is such a great learned personality. There is no one on the planet considered as smart and intelligent and as him, and shrewd especially. How do you know his shrewdness? When Vaman Dev came, everybody got up and offered namaskar, including the king. But Sukracharya said, when I look at this boy, I think he's Sakshat Vishnu. Huh? It's dangerous. He is asking 3 steps, but what he will do subsequently, he only knows. Nobody can say, because every pastime he does differently. For Hiranyakashipu, he came as Narsimha. And that too, where he came from? Have you ever seen any child born from a pillar? He can come from a pillar. Because he's God, he can do that. And when he came as Varahadev, where he came from? The nose of Brahma. So similarly, now he's asking 3 steps. Even I cannot assess what he will do. But I can tell you one thing, take back your promise. Very shrewd fellow. So then but Bali Maharaja said, no, sir. Once given a promise, prana bhi jaye, vachan na jaye. And I have promised to Lord, if he is Lord, he only gave me everything, let him take it. So he took the command to offer Argya. So Sukracharya became a bumblebee and sat inside the hole. So he's putting water, not a drop is coming. And he's wondering, the jar is full with water, not coming. And Vaman Dev laughed and said, wait a minute. He took one dhruva grass and inserted him from here. Inserted it, touched the ice. Immediately the Brahman came out. So Sukracharya got a little hurt in the eyes. He came out and then he gave the water and then gave it to Vaman Dev. Therefore, Sukracharya is very, very intelligent and shrewd Brahman, guru of the Daityas. And in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, amongst the most intelligent people, who am I? Ushana Kavi. I am Sukracharya, he says. For people I took today, Sukracharya and Durvasa, and both are glorifying holy name. One personality is saying, Sakalam karoti nishchidram, anusankitram tava. In your life, don't worry about deficiencies. Keep on chanting the holy name. As Maharaj said yesterday, humility, and then you will be able to chant humbly. All of the deficiencies will be washed away if you just stick on to chanting the holy name. Harinam Prabhu.